Hi guys, Moses. Yeah. Hi guys. The last time I did one of these, I was still back home, but now I'm in college. This is my dorm. That's my roommate's side. Ignore his unmade bed. Yeah, so I just kind of wanted to do this last kind of like true tea sesh before the actual applications are due in about a week. Yeah, they're due Tuesday. So I really just wanted to take a little bit of time and answer any left questions specifically about U Chicago because a lot of my U Chicago babes have been having questions, and I've seen from a couple of people that they're a little concerned about the school. But I just wanted to go ahead and clear things up and also answer any remaining questions about the actual application themselves. Itself, sorry. So yeah, I'm just kind of going to go through the questions that I have here. My friend Carla, she's also a questie. She's going to pop in at any moment to see if she can add anything to the questions or the answers. So yeah. So the first question is it true that EFC is a major determining factor for matching to schools, including U Chicago in particular? That is a very iffy question. My immediate answer is yes. There's a lot of schools that do say you need to have an EFC of 0. EFC, as you guys know, is expected family contribution. Some schools will flat out tell you you need to have a 0. Such schools as Amherst. They will not match you unless you have an EFC of 0. U Chicago told me the same thing, but I didn't have an EFC of 0 and I got matched either way. So they'll definitely make some exceptions, but that's really tentative and that's at their discretion. So usually yes, but like I said, there's exceptions. So definitely check with your schools and call them, call financial aid, call your admissions counselor and just ask, hey, is this legit or not? And then just kind of go with that. But again, don't let that refrain you from ranking schools because like I told you, I thought I wasn't going to get matched and I did. Okay, 2, how much time do students typically spend homework at U Chicago? Okay, so the thing about homework at U Chicago is that if you are very well organized and you space out your time, you'll be fine. My roommate does that. He is done with his homework at like 10. He's chilling, and then there's over me. I procrastinate, and I'm like up reading until like 1. And that's not because I have that much homework. It's just I don't pace myself. And that's something I need to start doing better. Typically, there is a good amount of homework. You get a good amount of reading from certain classes. Sometimes their classes meet every other day. Sometimes they meet every day. It really depends on what you're in. So I would say that I typically spend, if I am pacing myself and I am on schedule, I spend about 3 to 4 hours tops. And that's me because I'm an overachiever and I overanalyze everything I read. Some people spend just 2, some people spend 1. It really depends on how you balance your time out. So don't think that like we're studying all the time because that's not true. So we had the funnest weekend ever this past week, and I will go into more detail about that later. Okay. 3, is the environment like at U Chicago competitive because you've heard stories? Okay, no. The coolest thing about U Chicago, and this is something that really attracted me about this school, is that we're a student body of incredibly intelligent people. We totally love learning. We're here for the academics, but that doesn't mean we're going to fight each other over grades because we're not point grubbers here. We don't like throw a fit if we don't get a 9, if we get a 99 instead of a 100. No. Here we have a really good sense of community that we help each other grow. We help each other develop as students. We study together. We help each other on PSETs. We build each other up and we help each other up whenever we're having a bad day. Like my friend Veronica, her paper got deleted completely and like her friends helped her like put it back together and just kind of see like where she was coming from. So don't think that we're here competitive or we're a competitive school in the terms of academics. I mean, there's a running joke here that if we wanted A's, we would have gone to Harvard. I know that's really shady, but at the same time, we're not here for grades. We're here to learn, which is awesome. Okay, 4, what opportunities are there for undergraduate research at U Chicago? So I'm not a STEM major, not at all. I am a political science and gender and sexualities major, but my roommate is a molecular engineering major. And he is already working in a lab. He got hired 2 weeks ago, and he's already working in a lab. He's having a lot of fun. I think he's doing something with DNA and yeah, DNA. And then I have another friend named Marlon. He's at another lab, and he's also a first year, and he is working with chimpanzees and such. I have a friend who's working as a research assistant at Pritzker School of Medicine. So don't think that just because you're first year, you're immediately limited to not doing research. You can start working in labs, you can get your foot in that door, which is really, really cool. That's for STEM. For humanities and social sciences is what I'm doing. Even though we don't have like direct research, I'm already working at the Institute of Politics. Tomorrow I'm working at an event with Secretary of State John Kerry. You might be able to meet him, which is really, really cool. So there's definitely opportunities for every major that you want to do. What are available options for study abroad at UChicago? We have literally places everywhere. We have some in Vienna, which is a human rights program, which is what I want to do. We have intense language opportunities in Paris, in Spain. We have civilization studies in Mexico. We have programs in Beijing. My roommate actually did a pre-orientation program in Beijing. He was there for 2 weeks, got to take 2 classes, very immersive within China, obviously. So there's definitely a lot of opportunities. And what's really cool about it is if you're on financial aid, your financial aid transfers over to your study abroad education. So they try to be very helpful when it comes to money, and especially if you want to study abroad. Definitely check out the study abroad website. I think it's studyabroad.uchicago.edu, and definitely look into it. There's a lot of opportunities here, and even if there's not like one directly connected to the university, they will go out of their way to find something. Maybe it's through another school, another program that they will link you to, and they'll help you be able to do that program. Okay. Are there available tutoring programs? Yes, 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 yes. We have this really cool thing called the Core Tutors. It's literally what it sounds like. If you guys do know anything about UChicago, you'll know that we have the Core, which is our liberal arts education. And basically, you study different disciplines through different classes. It's like a big deal. So basically, during the week, I don't remember the exact dates, but I think they go into like 11 or 12. They're in Harper Library, which is one of our main libraries here. And you can just go in and you can be tutored. So like, if you think you're on your own, that's not true. The Core Tutors are there almost every day. You can set up appointments through them to be able to like work on stuff. There's tutoring groups that are set up within your classes. All of our professors have office hours. They're required to have them. So like, for example, I was writing my first paper for my social sciences class last week, and I needed help. So I just asked my TA who was in the class, because my professor intimidates me. I was like, hey, Sonia, can you help me, or do you have time to meet? She's like, yeah, definitely. Just meet me at this cafe. And I was like, girl, I'm there. We're about to write this paper together. So she was really cool, and she like helped me find a structure for it. So there's definitely opportunities available for everything if you need help, and they really don't want you to be intimidated and think there's no resources for help. So if you really do reach out, there's always something available. 8, does UChicago have a writing center? Not that I know of. I don't think so. No, I'm just gonna go with no, but don't quote me on that. Check the website. 9, what type of internships do people get at UChicago? Girl, okay. So there's this really cool program at UChicago called the Odyssey Scholars. Typically all Questies are Odyssey Scholars, actually almost all the time. It's basically the Odyssey Scholar program is for low income, first generation, undocumented, documented students in order to help them get a boost in their education. For example, Odyssey pays for your health insurance. They give you cover extra money that you may need, things like that. And they also have this really cool thing called the Metcalf internship. The Metcalf internship is literally just a guaranteed internship after your first year that pays up to $4,000. So I am guaranteed an internship in whatever I want, wherever I want. They will help me find it. And what's really cool about that as well is, let's say I'm looking through the internships that Metcalf is offering and I don't see one that I like, but I find this other internship that I really do like and they don't pay. I can go to that internship and the university will still give me the $4,000, which is really cool. There's a crazy amount of opportunities available. You can do them other places. You can do them here on campus. Some people intern at the Institute of Politics in our econ department. There's just a crazy amount of opportunities. So reaching out to the career advancement office. They really like helping you do that. I know mine, her name is Melissa. She's obsessed with meeting with us. And I'm like, okay, chill. So yeah, there's a lot of opportunities. What type of career services are at UChicago? I don't really get what you mean by that question. I mean, I think you mean like career oriented. Like I said, the career advancement office here is amazing. I'm required to meet with them 3 times a quarter, which is crazy. But at the same time, it's just getting me on track to be able to do what I need to do. There's a lot of pre-med opportunities and programs here in order to prep for med school. I'm in a way, pre-law, even though that's not an official thing here. But I'm definitely being helped structure my schedule and stuff so I can get all the courses I need for law school. Those internship opportunities that I mentioned, those are available to get me into the field and have experience before I actually apply and stuff. So that's really cool. What kind of dorm choices are there at UChicago? Okay, here we go. UChicago is amazing because we're literally Hogwarts. We have the housing system. Basically, what happens is when you get here, whatever dorm you're put in, you are put into a house, and that house is your community for the 4 years that you're here. Or if you move off campus, your 3 years that you're in housing. And basically, it's a community for you to grow and be a part of, which is really cool. My house is Dugan Nicholson. Yeah, really weird name, but we're Dugan Nicholson. And we're actually in the brand new dorm, Campus North Residential Commons, which opened just this year. So we're one of the brand new houses, and we get to establish our culture and stuff. But each dorm has a set amount of houses. Some of my best friends live in South Campus, which is on the other side of campus, literally. Kenwood, Janata, and they all have really cool traditions. I know some of them do like mandatory karaoke night, lip sync battles. I know a house in South does RuPaul weekly watchings. So it's kind of crazy, but it's really, really cool because it's a really good sense of community. Some dorms have tighter communities because they're smaller dorms and more introverted. Other dorms like Max Pilevsky, which is a little bit more extroverted, have like intense culture, same with South. So it really depends on where you are. We don't have first-year dorms or freshman dorms here because we don't roll that way. We expect, or our school expects us to be able to interact with first year, second, third, and fourth years. So my house is made up of first through fourth years, which is really cool. So I don't have to like feel intimidated by upperclassmen. Is a lot of the student body in a sorority or fraternity at UChicago. So we do have sororities and fraternities, but the sororities don't have houses. Greek life here at UChicago is interesting because you need to think of it in the perspective that, yes, it's Greek life, but it's UChicago. So it's a bunch of nerds in sororities and fraternities. Everyone's still incredibly smart and stuff. So like, even though, yes, the culture exists, low-key it's like for parties and stuff, there's no requirement whatsoever to be involved in it. Some of my really good friends are in it, and I'm like, good for you. They love it, but huge deal on campus. Don't worry about it. How to deal with elitism at UChicago or any school in general? Good point. So there's definitely a sense of elitism at every school, especially being a low-income, first-generation student of color. There are moments where I do feel intimidated by like, oh, I'm poor, which is true. But at the same time, I've really learned that I have embraced who I am, and I've been accepted. I don't feel excluded from anything because there's a lot of resources here on campus, specifically at UChicago. So like here we have the CCSS, which is the Center for College and Student Success. They have free printing there. They have weekly like workshops. They have trips, things like that, and support systems for low-income first-gen students. One of my best mentors ever, his name is Jeremy. I love him to pieces. He's like my big brother, and he's someone that I really like reach out to whenever I feel like I need to talk about stuff, which is really good. So there's definitely the sense of support and help that I know that I do belong here and that I'm just as deserving as anyone else, even though sometimes there are moments of like self-doubt, which, I mean, it's going to happen anywhere. But what's good about UChicago is that there's a community amongst the students, and the faculty and staff really do set up an environment where I do feel like I'm connected to the school, which is amazing. What activities are offered to students at UChicago? Too many. Way too much. I never thought I would say that I am overwhelmed with the amount of opportunities that I have. It's ridiculous. Personally, I am part of our mock trial team, and I am part of our Model UN team. I'm working at the Institute of Politics. I work with the QuestBridge chapter here. What else do I do? I work with the Peace Corps. I work with this organization called Students for Action. So see, there's a crazy amount of RSOs, which is a fancy term for clubs. We have just so many opportunities here. And literally, if there's something you want to do, but we don't have it, you can start it. My roommate, he was big on Science Olympiad during high school, and UChicago doesn't host a tournament, so him and a couple of friends, they're like starting up the Scioli chapter here, and they're gonna hope, they aim to have their first invitational by 2018, I think. So see, there's so much to do here, sometimes too much, which is crazy. Yeah. Okay, so is the area around UChicago safe? Yes. Yes, UChicago is safe. We have too much security for my personal comfort. We have the Chicago Police Department. We have the University of Chicago Police Department, and we have security guards every other block. We have blue lights, which are these like really cool things that if you push the red button, a UCPD officer will be at you or will be besides you in like 30 seconds. They're crazy. So like definitely any place that you go to school with, whether it be in the middle of nowhere or in a big city like Chicago, there's prone to be unsafe moments. You know, it's just really about you making the right decisions and making sure that you're aware of your surroundings and you don't do stupid stuff. Like if it's 3 a.m. and you're walking from the library to your dorm, don't have headphones on. Don't be like looking at your phone and walking. Like, no. No. So it's really just a matter of making sure you make the right decisions and you're aware of your surroundings. But definitely, if you're concerned about the safety here at UChicago, we do have incredibly safe resources and opportunities. And I have never felt unsafe on campus, whether it be walking home from a party at 3 a.m. or walking home at 10. It's really not a big deal. You just need to make wise decisions. Okay, applications. How long did it take for you to come up with your essay prompt? Which prompt would you have written about if you didn't make a prompt? How did you find inspiration for your essay/prompt? This is kind of an interesting question because when I was starting my UChicago essay, I knew that this was the most important essay of my life because UChicago was and is my dream school. And I was like, okay, so I really need to whip something up good for this. I had written Yale, I had written Princeton and everything. And this is one that I was like, ugh, what am I gonna do? What am I gonna do? So at the same time, was really like focused on making the best of the essay. And as I started writing it, I was writing to this one prompt. And when I started writing it, I was like, you know, this is not what I want to write. I was very intimidated by it and I scraped it like 9 times until eventually like I sat down and I just poured it out. It just came out of me and it kind of took its shape out of its own. I called it word vomit to start, but it just kind of came to me and I was like, you know, this is what I'm feeling at the time and this is what I feel like I need to write and it's working. So if you guys don't know my prompt, it was here. I can tell it to you guys. I ended up writing the essay first and then the prompt because you know the essay kind of took its form before the before the prompt. I kind of just wrote about something that I felt like you know I could really talk about, and it was about my name. And you know, people are so intimidated by these prompts because they feel like Chicago is demanding something incredibly quirky or incredibly like witty. But in reality, the goal of these Chicago essays is for you to really just not expose, really put out there who you are as a person. and who you are as a human being and citizen of the world. So the prompt that I ended up submitting was, please write a letter that mirrors the writing style of an author that has had a significant impact on your development as a human being and exposes your humanity at its most vulnerable state. So I just kind of mirrored Stephen, who wrote Perks of Being a Wallflower, and then just wrote about just me and my insecurities about my name, which is something that was very different. And a lot of people really told me, like, that's cool. And people are like, oh, I will never be able to come up with something as creative as that. And personally, I thought the prompt was stupid. Like, I thought this is too specific. This is not a prompt. This is a specific question to what I wrote. But, it worked. And every essay is different. Every person is different. So don't feel like you need to live up to my essay or any other mentor that you might have thinking, oh my God, they wrote the best essay possible and I could never write something like that. No, I felt like that way. And that really pushed me down. So definitely feel your own inspiration and come up from where you're coming and definitely put yourself out there and don't be afraid to take a risk. I tell my mentees that my essay had a slice of my soul. And if you can't find a slice of your soul in your essay, then is it really yours? So, yeah. 18, can you discuss a bit about financial aid and DACA/undocumented students? Yeah, so financial aid, a lot of these questions you can find on the website, so I'll go over it briefly. UChicago is 100% demonstrated need, so whatever your family can cover according to your taxes and your financial aid forms, UChicago will pay for it. We are a no-loan school. Obviously, all of you guys get your application fee waived, which is great. So with regards to a DACA/undocumented students, we at UChicago are considered international students when it comes to money. So at the same time, there's a couple of more forms you might have to submit, but that doesn't mean they won't give you as much money. Like I told you, I matched. I actually got a refund. I got $1,200 back this quarter because I had too much. So they kind of gave that back to me in the form of a check, which is great. So the money won't be a problem if you're DACA or undocumented or and obviously a regular citizen. So don't think money is going to be something intimidating here at UChicago. Yeah, definitely check out the website and call them. I know if you're a DACA/undocumented, you're going to have to fill out the IFSAA, which is the International Financial Aid Application for students. Yeah, something like that. Call them or call your admissions counselor and they'll definitely like give you tips on what to fill out. Is there anything about UChicago that you're unhappy about or something that you can improve? I've never gotten this question. Let me think. Oh, I think something that I would definitely want to improve, and this is something that's definitely getting like taken care of, and it's become a big like issue from with regards to the class of 2020, is the relationship with the workers um, in our dining halls. You guys, I'm pretty sure, are aware of like the strike that happened in Harvard, and sometimes I feel like our cafeteria people aren't really treated with the most respect. I always greet them in the mornings and try to like get to know them, which is really, really cool. There's some really cool people there. So definitely improving those relationships. Um, any elite institution is going to have some funky, shady dealings with money where the university invests. So things like that, like the real politics of the school. Um, some of those things that I think would be improved upon. Another thing I think would be great would be to kind of work on the relationship between students of color and the university as a whole. Even though, like I did say, there are resources and there are opportunities, I sometimes feel like there could be a lot more. One big issue that I take with the school is that on Saturday nights, the dining halls are closed with the excuse of, oh, let the students explore the city and get to know Chicago. And I'm like, great, are you going to give me money? And they're like, no. And I'm like, so I'm going to starve. Saturday nights, I have to fend for my own food. Which luckily these past couple weeks hasn't been hard because I've had money thanks to my refund, but that money is going to go real quick and I'm going to go back to ramen. Uh, so I think things like that, like Even though, yes, they're good in theory, in practice, there's students who can't afford those things. And there are clubs on campus that provide Saturday night meals, but at the same time, it's still a little bit of a struggle. What does a typical first day in freshman schedule look like? Okay, so let me tell you my schedule and what a day in the life looks like. So UChicago limits you to take 4 classes. Um, People are recommended to do 3, but I'm taking 4. My roommate is taking 3. He is taking physics, his humanities class, and math 153, which is calculus. Me, I am taking statistics. I am taking Spanish 20402, which is Spanish for native speakers, my humanities class, and my social sciences class. So kind of crazy because human soc are very, very heavy reading classes, but it's fine. No, it's fine. So yeah. So for me, a day in the life, like, let me give you my Mondays. So Mondays, I try to wake up around 8. I go to breakfast or shower, go to breakfast. I have class at 9:30, 9:30 to 10:20. And then from 10:30 to 11:20, I have Spanish. After that, I go to lunch and I can chill until 3. 3 from 3 to 4:20, I have my humanities class, and then I'm done for the day. That's my Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. My Tuesdays and Thursdays, I don't have class until 10:30. I have class from 10:30 to 11:50. That's my social sciences class. And then I'm free for the rest of the day until 6. I have mock trial from 6 to 9. And in between all of that, I do homework. I chill with my roomie. I meet up with friends, do things like that, and of course, homework. So it's pretty easy. Freshman schedule, first year. Just note, UChicago, we don't call ourselves freshmen. We're first years. First years, um, we, like I said, 3 classes or 4. Definitely, you're gonna have to take a humanities class. Like, there's no way to not take a humanities class your freshman or your first year, whatever. Your first year. And some people take math, some people take soc and hum. It really depends on what you want to do. Since UChicago doesn't have a business administration, what does UChicago offer to students pursuing that track or economics? Let me tell you, we have the best economics department in the nation. Yes, we don't have an undergrad business school. Yes, we don't have Wharton, which is, I know what you're referring to, but we have City Hall, which we call Money Church, which is our econ department. We have an amazing econ department. Econ is a huge, very popular major here, and it is a very good major. Not my thing, but definitely if you want a good education in economics, UChicago is the place for you. Best econ department ever. Okay. How did you handle leaving home and transitioning into college with a lot more independence? So lucky for me, I was here my summer of 2015. I was on campus, took a class. I was here for 3 weeks. Then summer 2016, I was a part of a summer program called CAP, which is a Chicago Academic Achievement Program. I got to do that, and I was here for 7 weeks, and I kind of got a sense of the transition, being able to go from a small town to Chicago, being able to change from my performing arts high school to an actual intensely academic based school. So it kind of prepared me, but at the same time, these past couple weeks, like, it's really starting to hit me. Like, I'm here by myself. I'm not going home anytime soon, and it's really been nice to have a good support system from my friends, from my roommate. Um, and even though, yes, there's been moments definitely where I miss my family and I want to go home, overall, the transition hasn't been that bad. It's just, everyone goes through it and we all have to get accustomed to it. And what's really great about UChicago is that they help you ease into it. Like I told you, they offer a lot of events and activities that really, kind of get you into the mood of college. And it's not that bad. It's been great. And finally, what is your response to people who talk about UChicago not being fun? Okay. Okay. So I personally have too much fun. Um, yeah, I procrastinate too much because I'm out having too much fun. This past weekend, for example, my roommate and I on Saturday night, we went to an improv show, went and got burgers, then we went to Chinatown and had bubble tea. I didn't come home until like 1. Sunday night, my roommate and I randomly, spontaneously went back to Chinatown to get some dim sum, and more bubble tea. See, those things happen. There's usually always a party on the weekends. There's just a lot of outings, and there's just so much to do, even here on campus. So, like, people think fun means party, 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 and like not doing work. But in reality, Chicago is great in that you can do the party, party, party thing, but also have a lot of academic activities and a lot of different extracurricular activities. So when people say U Chicago does not have fun, people think as we're bottled up in our rooms, in our dorms, in the library, studying all night, all day. And yeah, you can do that, but we don't encourage that. That's unhealthy. Mental health is a huge deal here at U Chicago, and we really emphasize the need to go out and have fun. We have a strict law of 45 minutes study, 15-minute break, 45 just back and forth. If you do want to pull like an intense study session, I had to do that for my essay. But at the same time, just because I do have a lot of responsibilities when it comes to my academics, that doesn't mean I don't make time for myself and make time to explore Chicago. Because so definitely don't think that just because our academics are intense, that doesn't mean we have a lot of fun or that we offer opportunities and have chances to go out, which is what we do. We have a lot of fun here. And even though it might not be a state school's definition of fun, I really enjoy the things that I do here on campus. And I don't think there would be any other place for me. Yeah. So I think that's it on questions. Unless anyone has any other questions to type in, I think we're good. So yeah, let me know if any of you guys have any other questions. Today was kind of like the day that I set apart to do this because it's midterms. It's midterm sesh. So yeah, good luck, everyone. I know you guys are gonna do great. I am so excited to see which of you Cubays are gonna be here next year. Definitely reach out to me. We have overnight programs in the spring, yeah, in April, where you guys typically questies are flown in, and if you are not flown in, you can come. I can meet up with you guys. I'm really excited to meet you. And yeah, let me know if you have any questions. I might not get back to you immediately, but know that I will get back to you. And best of luck on the applications. And yeah, cool. Awesome. Nice to talk to you guys. Bye.